That shouldn't do that. Something's wrong with this front shaft. That could give you a vibration when you're in four-wheel drive. Welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Garage, and as you can tell, my hair has gotten long. Much to the chagrin of friends and family, I have made a vow that I will not cut my hair until this truck is done. Now, the last video of this truck you saw, we did a test drive. Basically, after we got the transmission repaired, we went on a test drive, and then silence, because all crazy things started happening. I want to fill you in on those details. So we have a few videos coming up to kind of get you from where we were then to where we are now, and why, oh why, have I decided not to cut my hair? Well, because this project has grown so out of control, so monstrous, that I have to do something so that every day I look in the mirror, I am reminded of this truck and telling myself to get it done. So please, join with me, and let's go back in time, all the way back to over 1 year ago today, when this thing started spiraling off the rails.
What in the world is going on here? Thought you had this all running and driving and everything.
Have you ever seen Groundhog's Day? That's where I'm at. Yeah, we did. We had it all together. Put about 500 miles on it. But let me show you what we're doing. So, step one, to make it kind of cool, boom, we're doing a rough country 2-inch lift with brand new rough country, really nice shocks. Because look at these. These are the gas shocks, not the oil filled, and they're multi-valving. These are nice shocks, actually. Some of the lift kits sell you like the cheap shocks that are oil filled, and don't fall for it. These are the good ones. Because look, obviously the factory shocks, they're getting aged, and so we needed new shocks anyway. So now we're doing the leveling kit. The tires, if you remember, had flat spots. It needed tires. So instead of just putting tires on, we got custom rims and tires. It's gonna be awesome. 2-inch lift kit, front and back. And then any type of suspension issues we're solving, like this, track bar. Bushings are junk, so we're putting a track bar, putting some steering parts. But here's the big thing that is super annoying. Besides, there's two big things. Number one, vibration. Had a driveline vibration, and we kind of noticed it, but I wasn't sure if it was just these tires that had flat spots or if it was driveline. So we decided to inspect it. The front U-joints are still original, and with 170,000 miles, they're probably bad. They're gonna be bad. So I just figured I'm gonna do those. Also, that could give a vibration when it's in four-wheel drive. I pulled the front drive shaft. Listen to this shaft. That shouldn't do that. Something's wrong with this front shaft. That could give you a vibration when you're in four-wheel drive. Look back here. This is called the carrier bearing. Carrier bearing is junk. That can give you a vibration, and it also started to damage. You can tell the pinion seal is starting to get wet. So I was thinking, we're just gonna hit the high points and this thing should be ready to hit the road. But when we're done, this truck is gonna be sweet. But all of a sudden, I thought something would just take a couple days. It's turning into a little bit of a monster. One more thing, watch your head when you come over here. This is a big no-no. See that puddle of oil on the ground? That's from this truck. So it did not have any oil leaks or whatever this might be coolant, might be fuel, I don't know. If you remember, we've been dealing with fuel leaks from blown lines from everything freezing. So I've already fixed all the fuel leaks that I know of. This is coming from the motor. This is all the risk of a vehicle that's been sitting for years and then you start driving it, seals or who knows what starts doing this. Well, we got snow and wind. It's supposed to be a record snowfall coming into Minnesota starting this afternoon and into tonight. But for now, I'm trying to run these drive shafts to the rebuilder, and then I gotta pick up a set of tires. What do you think, Will?
Looks nice.
The grand reveal.
Wow.
You like these?
Oh, that's cool.
They are really cool. Wow. Gloss black. That is exceptional. Oh my
like 'em?
goodness. Yeah, I like them. Yeah, 285. So these are about a 33-inch tall tire. That's why we're doing the 2-inch lift. And it's gonna be sweet. And then I got a -12 back spacing so that it pushes the tire out away from the front leaf springs. So hopefully it won't rub when we're at full lock. Where then, if we would have just put a fat tire on the stock rim, they rub on the leaf springs when you're turning tight. So pretty sweet. And go. No, it's fine.
Hold on. Let me
It's
get
fine.
a piece of gum.
Oh my Lord.
Go.
Seriously,
Okay,
just
okay,
stick in film.
okay.
Unbelievable. I've got a job to do here. Rough Country 1511 lift kit. It's a 2-inch lift kit. It's made for Ford Super Duties, and I will tell you, it went in fairly easy, but the instructions also fairly horrible. They tell you to do things that don't make sense. They say to, like, I don't know, I don't even want to get into it. And they've changed the kit since they wrote these directions. So look, there's stuff that's missing that doesn't even come in this kit. And then they tell you to install these things that they don't even include. So I assume this is the newest, latest, greatest. But Rough Country, seriously, you got one job. Why don't you get your stuff figured out, okay? For me though, I figured it out myself. I don't really need help. Men don't need directions. These would only be for women. Oh, oh, I saw the look on your face.
Said the one who they just didn't include parts.
I
They
made
probably didn't even come in with the
Huh? What?
nothing.
What?
It was probably an incomplete thing, and it's gonna drive without shocks.
You know what? It has shock absorbers in the picture, but notice bushings not installed in said shock absorbers. These are also, I would say, oil-filled old-fashioned shock absorbers. Then you have to install these, which, by the way, the shock covers, or the bellows, I think they're called, shock boots, not included in this kit. Yeah, I got no shock boots. So you mean to tell me, and maybe you're right then, you think I just got an incomplete kit, didn't come with everything.
Because why would they just not have, like, necessary parts?
It's annoying. Then, the other thing, right here, these are the rear spring shackles. And they're supposed to have these shims or bushings so that when you tighten the shackles, they don't deform. Well, they didn't come with it. And these are bump stop spacers. Didn't come with it. It did come with all these bolts though, so that's awesome. I'm glad I have those.
There has to be missing pieces though.
Why? Why does everything so annoying? Because you're stuck with these people. Whoever works for stinking...
Get stuck like
It's
on your
like-
back. He's like,
I am
good night,
annoyed,
sweetie.
though. I'm annoyed. I'm gonna have to call rough country. Day 46. I don't know how many days we've been working on this Powerstroke. I'm trying to dedicate at least 5 hours a day because it's a huge project and it is suffering from what we in the business like to call mission creep. Yeah, the grill is off. We found something today that needs to be addressed, and it's not in the original scope of this project whatsoever, but I just don't like redneck repairs, and this truck, I've been doing nothing but trying to solve all the redneck repairs. Right here. It must have got hit before. In this area, it crushed up here. Obviously, this inner structure is all pushed in. This is slightly caved down, as you can tell, and this upper rail isn't where we want it to be. This is tore, but that's not really an issue. So this is going to have to be addressed. As you can tell, it must have damaged some wiring, and yeah, let's do wire splices. I might have just broke that headlight bulb. Oh well. Not the correct repair, and I think this makes sense because when you would turn the headlights on, they were always in brights, except one was bright, one was dim. It was just weird. So they must have this wired incorrectly. So it is a good time to get this all solved. I've got a really good local frame shop. They said bring it over. Yeah, you can really see that this is low because our body lines weren't really lining up too good. Where they meet, the fenders meet the doors, and mission creep. It turns into a monster because when you're already there, now's the time, right? That's what we always say. So since we're already there, look at what's coming up. Big, beautiful 4-inch pipes from the downpipe back. Now, so we got lift kit installed, all new drive shafts. Remember that ring-a-ling ding in the front drive shaft? This is what came out of the center of that shaft. The guy at AA Driveline said this front shaft is the 8th that he has done so far this year. I don't know how that's possible, but I guess Ford presses this piece in between the shafts, and then it works itself loose because it's not welded. So they had to cut the shaft apart, remove this, weld it back together, and balance it. I think that was also giving us a pretty good vibration in the front end because this is heavy. He said this is heavier than the heaviest weight they ever put on the drive shaft to balance them. So this thing's just rolling all inside that shaft and bouncing around. It's obviously going to throw off the weight. It's getting late at night. I'm going to call it a day. This truck is still turning into a bigger project. I'm really looking forward to the day when the size of the project is shrinking instead of growing. But for now, still growing. Here we are today. As you can tell in the background, we got new grill, we got new headlights, a bunch of other new stuff. I also am still ordering parts because as I'm going step by step, I'm finding more broken things, or this truck now is turning into a much nicer truck than I ever imagined it would be. So then obviously it's just, we're restoring this truck, and we're fully committed at this point, and there's no going back.